Alrighty, folks, welcome back to another Davis Does Weather live stream. Today we are here for some breaking severe weather coverage. I was not expecting to have to go live today, so I don't have everything quite prepared yet, but we do have an ongoing tornado in Gibson County, Indiana. So if you are in Gibson County, southeast of Princeton, you need to seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. This is a radar-confirmed tornado near Douglas and as well as Francisco, Indiana. If we take a look at the correlation coefficient, we can see that we did have something that sort of resembled a debris signature, at least briefly on the radar here. So this very was likely a tornado that was at least briefly on the ground near the Princeton area. So if you're in this area, again, make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. Again, it is likely that this tornado has occluded. It is now back down to radar indicated, but it doesn't matter. Either way, you need to be in your safe spot immediately if you're in this area. We do have reports of trees down and roofs ripped off of homes as well. Again, right now, if our tornado does recycle, it would pop up west of I-69 near Somerville. Again, the thing that killed this was these two little supercells merged together. I would not be surprised to see this eastern supercell develop some rotation near Spurgeon. In fact, it looks like it's already trying to near Enos Corner. So, again, if you're in this area, make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. Again, we're starting to get reports of damage from the east side of Princeton, Indiana. Today we have a large severe weather outbreak ongoing across portions of Dixie Alley, the Ohio Valley, and even back through portions of the Midwest. This is a slight risk of severe weather in place here in that yellow shaded region from parts of southern Illinois all the way back through central Georgia there. This is driven by a damaging wind and hail risk. There originally was a 2% tornado risk from the Storm Prediction Center, but they did since get rid of it as storm mode looked to be a huge issue. But obviously, we're still definitely going to have that potential for a couple of tornadoes today, as we just saw down there in southwestern Indiana near the Princeton area. So if you are out here in this area today, make sure that you are weather aware and you have multiple ways to receive alerts. Again, a severe thunderstorm watch is in place for all those counties in the pink shaded boxes there. Those go all the way from portions of Georgia back through to parts of southern Illinois. Now, we have seen some isolated to widely scattered severe thunderstorms across southern Tennessee today, but the main concentration of activity has been across the lower Midwest, from Jefferson City, Missouri, back through to Louisville, Kentucky, is where we've been seeing the most significant severe weather reports, and obviously that's where our first tornado of the day has ended up occurring. Now, again, we're obviously going to have that potential to see significant severe weather anywhere, but the reason that this is happening up here is because of, one, a better storm mode, and two, we have slightly more wind shear in this environment, which is leading to these supercells becoming a little bit more powerful and having that capability to produce a brief tornado or two. So again, I'm going to go ahead and pull up stream chat. If anybody has any questions about their location, make sure to leave those down below. I'll try to answer them accurately and honestly. Again, I was not planning on going live today, so I don't quite have everything set up, but we are going to go ahead and do our best that we can here to cover this. Again, I'm trying to get chat pulled up, but it's not quite loading yet. If you are new here, make sure to click that like and subscribe button. We're trying to hit 3,960 subscribers today. Our little sub count tracker there is messed up a little bit, but if we go ahead and refresh the page, it should work. Yes, there we go. So again, that is our live sub count. We're currently at 3,956 subscribers. Let's see if we can get to 3,960 by the end of the stream. Again, we don't have any storm chasers out there today because this was expected to be a little bit more of a minor severe weather event. Again, this was kind of a last second, uptick in activity here across portions of the southern Midwest and the Ohio River Valley, as again, we do have that storm mode being a little bit more impressive and a little more discreet than we originally planned on. So we do have a couple more supercells developing in portions of southern Illinois, and we'll get back to that in just a second, but we did actually just get a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that's going out for the city of Knoxville, Tennessee. If you're in Knoxville, Tennessee, make sure that you're moving indoors immediately. This is for quarter-sized hail and damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour with a line of supercells here that is developed near the Oak Ridge area. The tornado threat with these storms is incredibly low, but again, you want to play safe rather than sorry, because we definitely could end up seeing those, damaging wind gusts, and also that hail is definitely going to have the capabilities to shatter a couple of windows. And we actually do have some broad rotation developing west of Coalfield with one of our western supercells in this line. Again, I'm not sure how long that's going to be able to last because these aren't necessarily discrete supercells, but it is worth noting that that is some pretty impressive rotation there east of Highway 27, just off to the west of Oliver Springs. So again, if you're in this area, make sure that you are moving indoors immediately. So again, I'm trying my best here to get this stream pulled up, but the YouTube app is obviously not the best for loading the streams up super quickly whenever they first get started. But anyway, how's everybody doing today? How's it going? Gooseman, Central Illinois, EAS, Storm Chaser 575, Caleb, Severe Weather, Mr. Twister. How's it going, everybody? Again, we have got ourselves a confirmed tornado, at least as of a couple minutes ago, in southwestern Indiana. We had a debris signature on the radar, and we also had reports of roof and tree damage from the Princeton community. So again, if you know anybody in this area, make sure to send them this stream, because we're going to be here live for a while covering this, because again, this is a pretty significant situation, and not one that we expected. So give me just a second here. Okay, so again, we're awaiting more reports to come in from the Princeton area, but we did have a confirmed tornado go on the east side of Princeton. We have reports of trees downed and roofs ripped off of homes and buildings. So again, a pretty significant, couldn't that be considered an unwarned tornado as the CC wasn't even in the warning? Well, it was. They just now condensed this tornado warning, Caleb. The tornado warning originally did go out for Princeton. So they had the warning out there for Princeton before we started the stream. But again, I wasn't planning on going live for it unless a tornado actually occurred with it. And then I open up the radar and I see that we have that observed tag, and I sprint in here to get this coverage out for you guys as fast as possible. So we did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning conveniently right over the area that we're watching right now, with one of our supercells that has developed in southern Tennessee here. This is near the Covington area, and this is going to be approaching Whiteville over the next 30 to 45 minutes. So if you're in this area, make sure that you're moving indoors immediately. Some quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour damaging wind gusts are going to be possible with that, and we do have reports of damaging winds with this same storm here whenever it was tracking through portions of northeastern Arkansas. So again, we actually have had a couple of these supercells in portions of Tennessee take a pretty impressive structures on the radar, but they actually just canceled our tornado warning back up into southwestern Indiana, by the way. That was really fast. Okay, again, our rotation there's obviously a lot less impressive, but I figured that they would have kept that warning for at least a few more minutes. But anyway, new severe thunderstorm warning there for northwestern portions of Georgia, for Chickamauga and Trenton. If you're in this area, make sure that you're moving indoors immediately. Some quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour damaging wind gusts will be possible with this severe thunderstorm moving out of the Chattanooga region. So watch out in that area there. How's it going, everybody? Again, the tornado warning has just been canceled for southwestern Indiana. Again, previously a confirmed tornado just impacted the Princeton area. Again, we're trying to see if we can get some more reports out of that area, because it was honestly pretty significant on the radar there for a couple of radar scans. So we're going to see if we can find anything here on X. Again, that was a confirmed tornado on the radar, and then we also have reports of damage from a trained weather spotter. So there's a good chance if we try to see some stuff here on social media that we'll end up finding something. Again, I can't really share any of those damage photos on your screen, but if I find any, I will let you know. Again, we at least briefly had a tornado on the ground there on the east side of Princeton, Indiana. Again, we're not certain if it was not certain if it was a huge tornado or anything like that, but we did briefly have a CC drop there, indicative of a debris signature on the radar as this moved off to the east of Princeton. Again, there's your debris signature. So again, that was a confirmed tornado there northeast of Princeton. So they did just extend that severe thunderstorm warning out for that same storm for now Oakland City and Dale, Indiana. So if you're in these areas, make sure that you are moving indoors immediately. Damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour will be a possibility with these storms, and it also does have the tornado possible tag on it, as again, we do have some broad rotation with this eastern supercell near Spurgeon, as we mentioned earlier. So let's go back down here to Tennessee, because I am actually quite concerned about some of these supercells supercells west of Knoxville for a potential tornado threat. Again, we're definitely not lacking any rotation with our supercell west of Coalfield here, and we're also starting to see some broad rotation develop on our storm west of the Oakdale area. So good chance that we do see a tornado warning get issued for one of these storms here shortly if those velocity scans continue to look more and more intense. So we'll watch out for that. Yeah, we can't really tell you how bad the tornado was as of right now, but again, we can tell you that we do have reports of tree damage and roofs ripped off of homes. So again, just based off of that report alone, not talking about anything too significant, but obviously you shouldn't take that as, gospel. Because we don't have any views of what that actually looks like from the surface. But again, there's your velocity couplet as this tornado moved on the northeast side of Princeton, Indiana. Again, pretty nasty stuff. So, again, we're watching some more of these supercells developing down here into portions of southern Illinois to potentially try and do the same thing. We do have a line of storms just west of Carbondale that may try to broadly rotate, but I think that's mainly going to be a damaging wind threat. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning for Clarksville and Dixon, Tennessee, so if you're in this area, make sure that you're moving indoors. Damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour will be a possibility with that line of storms. Again, if you are new here, make sure to like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 3,960 subscribers today. We do this every day for areas all across the country. Again, I believe that we're the only channel live for this right now. So we're trying to do our part over here. Again, we're going to continue to watch these southern Illinois storms quite closely to see if they develop any broad rotation like our storm near Princeton did. We do have some thunderstorms that have developed into portions of west central Illinois as well, but these are mainly just going to provide a wind and hail threat here. So if you're in this area, make sure that you are, prepared to move indoors if necessary, but likely not going to see anything too intense with these thunderstorms as we have a significant lack of instability out here in this region. But again, what I can tell you is that southeastern Illinois and southwestern Indiana looks to be the hot spot at this point for any sort of potential brief tornado threat. So we will be watching this area quite closely, and I also wouldn't rule out a brief tornado in eastern Tennessee here. Speaking of which, we did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning for Harriman, Tennessee, and Oakdale. So if you're in this area, make sure that you're moving indoors immediately. Again, this has the damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour tag and also the quarter-sized hail tag there. And we got another new severe thunderstorm warning. It's an extension for our storm here in Indiana for Ferdinand now. The reason that these are two separate polygons is because these are two different National Weather Service offices warning this. The one off to the west here is the National Weather Service in Paducah, Kentucky, and then the one off to the east there is the National Weather Service in Louisville, Kentucky. So they have to throw out two separate polygons for the same storm there. But again, same severe thunderstorm there just off to the northwest of Ferdinand at the minute. Again, you can just see how impressive that supercell was from even just a reflectivity standpoint just before it merged. You can see that tornado even pretty clearly there on the radar. You can see that hook echo quite obviously again. Likely a tornado of decent intensity that ripped through the northeast side of Princeton, Indiana. Was not expecting that, to say the least. But anyway, off screen. What about western North Carolina? Western North Carolina is mainly going to be okay, as these severe thunderstorms are likely going to weaken as they make their approach to western North Carolina here. Again, I don't expect a huge threat for Appalachia, but the HRRR model does have a couple of potentially severe thunderstorms making their way into western portions of North Carolina later tonight, around 7, 8, 9 p.m., and that could potentially promote a damaging wind threat, and then also a flooding threat can't be ruled out either. It's also worth noting that the HRRR does have a big line of storms developing across portions of Dixie Alley here. This is 10 p.m. It has a line of storms extending all the way from portions of western North Carolina all the way back through portions of Mississippi. And if this does end up happening, we certainly could be talking about a pretty significant damaging wind threat, with damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour not being able to be ruled out across this general region here. Again, the Atlanta metro, Birmingham, even as far north as Huntsville, Alabama, you may have to look out for that. So, new severe thunderstorm warning there for portions of west central Tennessee. This is going out for Lobelville and Centerville. If you're in this area, make sure that you're moving indoors immediately. Damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour are going to be a possibility with this severe thunderstorm that just made its way through McKinsey. Again, this thing developed pretty quickly. That just shows you how unstable this environment is out here. So, again, definitely going to be watching this area for a pretty significant damaging wind and hail threat, and maybe a brief tornado threat if any cells do manage to stay discrete for long enough, similar to what our Princeton, Indiana supercell did there. So, anyway, yeah, I don't imagine that the supercells out there in I don't even think we're going to end up seeing supercells in western North Carolina. I think it's going to be a linear mode, and I don't anticipate a huge threat for even really damaging winds out here. So western North Carolina is going to be fine. Again, just make sure that you do have a tornado action plan in place in case everything goes wrong, which is very unlikely. But again, continuing to watch some of these severe thunderstorms down here in southwestern Indiana, right up along the Ohio River, actually, north of Owensboro, Kentucky. We do have some broad rotation potentially developing there, approaching Rockport. Looks like this also could be somewhat contaminated, though. But we'll see. But if you're in this area, make sure that you are prepared to seek shelter if necessary. Again, continuing to watch Dixie Alley, as well as the Ohio River Valley here for not just a damaging wind and hail threat, but again, potentially a brief tornado threat there, especially across portions of southern Illinois and southwestern Indiana. Again, I was kind of surprised that they didn't add the 2% tornado risk back in place there, at the 2000 outlook from the SPC. But I'm going to be honest with you, I figured if we were going to end up seeing a tornado threat today, it was going to come back kind of into portions of Appalachia. And again, obviously, I was proved wrong with that very quickly as storm mode's crap down there, and then up here into the Ohio Valley, things are actually pretty smooth as of right now. So we'll take the L on that one, but again, we do have a couple of supercells here in the portions of Kentucky that are trying to develop some rotation. This one just southwest of Whitesville is trying to do something, but again, it's also contaminated at the same time, so it's hard to tell what's really going on there. For anybody curious about the next few days, tomorrow we are going to be watching for some isolated severe thunderstorms to be a possibility right up along the East Coast. The leftovers of today's system here could potentially remain into tomorrow morning and maybe the early afternoon time hours there for areas in eastern portions of the Carolinas, southeast Virginia, and potentially back all the way down into the Florida Panhandle. So we will watch out for that, but I definitely don't think that we're going to end up having a stream out for tomorrow. And then here for Saturday, we are A-okay. There is a general thunderstorm risk put in place for sections of the Rockies as well as the upper western Midwest, but it looks like that's mainly just going to be some isolated thunderstorms with maybe an isolated severe one driven by damaging winds. So, again, continuing to watch Tennessee here quite closely. Again, a lot of our eastern Tennessee supercells, I think, have the potential to do something. Again, they don't look too intense, but we will watch them as some of them are managing to develop some broad rotation there. Again, at this point, our southwestern Indiana supercell that produced that tornado is well embedded in a line of storms and is not really going to have any sort of tornado threat at this point. But we will continue to watch for damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour and potentially an embedded QLCS tornado, but I would really doubt that in this kind of environment. So, anyway, how's it going, everybody? Again, if you are new here, make sure to subscribe. We do this every day for areas all across the country, whether it's severe weather, hurricanes, or winter storms, we've got you covered. Also, feel free to donate if you would like to, but obviously it's not required. But it is obviously greatly appreciated as it helps me know that this is going to be a career option for me in the future, because this is the kind of stuff that I love doing, and I know that you guys love to watch it, so that really would help me out a lot. But again, it's obviously not required or anything. Liking and subscribing is appreciated just as much. So, for anybody that's wondering, when is our next real severe weather threat going to be outside of today? Well, we're not too certain on that at this time. It does look like we're in a pretty slow pattern because of the jet stream, but it does look like a signal could be ramping up for a potential severe weather threat across the Ohio Valley and the Central Plains here over the next couple of weeks. The lightning flash density maps have been pretty intense over these areas, as I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen if you've been looking at Twitter at all recently, especially around the 14th, and then another system kind of comes through there across parts of the central and southern plains around the 15th or 16th, but again, it's quite far out to say anything too specific on that, but it definitely looks like damaging winds, hail, and potentially a couple of tornadoes can't be ruled out. So we just got a lot of new severe thunderstorm warnings there, one of them going out for parts of southeast Tennessee and southwestern North Carolina. If we go ahead and zoom in on that very quickly there near Etowah, if you're in this area, make sure that you're moving indoors immediately. Some quarter-sized hail possible with that supercell. And then we've also got a couple of new severe thunderstorm warnings back up in portions of Kentucky. I guess it's only one new severe thunderstorm warning. This is for the storm near Owensboro that we just mentioned earlier. So again, damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour will be a possibility with that. So if you're in that area, make sure that you are moving indoors. Yeah, for sure, Kate. Again, this was a huge surprise to pretty much everybody here today. Again, sure, we thought that a brief tornado would be possible, but really I figured it would be somewhere in the Tennessee Valley or into western portions of Appalachia. Definitely did not think it would be back up here into the Midwest, but storm mode just barely managed to squeeze out a very brief tornado there in southwestern Indiana. But however brief it was, doesn't really matter, because it does look like we do have some, not significant, but some somewhat impressive damage out there on the northeast side of Princeton, Indiana. Again, reports of damage to homes and significant tree damage are coming in. Again, I haven't personally seen any pictures yet, but typically whenever we're talking about tree and roof damage, you're looking at the EF1 range, maybe even just high-end EF0, depending on how severe that damage is. But, again, kind of hard to say. Alrighty. So the severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect here for Oakland City and areas to the east for the next 36 minutes here, as damaging winds continue to be a possibility with our line here. I also would not rule out some small hail, potentially up to pea size. Again, watching back down into Tennessee for a potential brief tornado threat with any embedded areas of rotation in our lines of storms, and potentially some of these eastern Tennessee supercells out here as well. We did actually just get a flash flood warning for Oak Ridge, Tennessee, so if you're in this area, turn around, don't drown, avoid traveling in flooded roadways. This is a live look from a University of Tennessee camera in Chattanooga. Again, you can see those thunderstorms passing by. What's up, Vincent? How's it going? I'm here from Blairsville, Georgia, in the mountains. So if you're out there in northern Georgia, you are actually going to have to watch out for some thunderstorms coming your way here over the next couple of hours. You are under a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 p.m. So that means that severe thunderstorms are do have the capability to develop in this area over the next several hours. And again, we do think that some of these supercells into portions of southern Tennessee and northwestern Georgia are going to make their way pretty close to you over the next couple of hours. So make sure that you are staying weather aware and you have multiple ways to receive alerts. This looks like it may move into southwest Virginia. Not necessarily. Again, I wouldn't doubt a wind threat into southwestern Virginia, but outside of that, probably not too much. I don't think southwest Virginia is going to have to worry very much, though, and again, if you do, it would just be very late nighttime hours anyway. So we actually did just get an upgrade on our severe thunderstorm warning for Jackson. Now for damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour. Apparently we had damaging winds measured up to 70 miles an hour at the Jackson Airport. So again, if you're in Henderson, make sure that you are moving indoors and away from windows immediately there along Highway 45 in between Bethel Springs and Jackson, because these severe thunderstorms here are not playing around. Again, they've taken that linear formation. It looks like that damaging wind threat is starting to increase as they do that, unsurprisingly. And this could be the beginning of what is eventually our big-time damaging wind threat here overnight for sections of Dixie Alley. Thank you, Resident Evil. So, we did have some reports of wind and hail, actually, from the St. Louis metro region earlier. Again, damaging winds of 50 to 60 miles an hour were, constantly reported out here. So, we don't have any reports of damage or anything like that to homes, but tree damage has been reported. Just your pretty typical, your typical wind damage out there in the St. Louis metro region, and that goes for the same across pretty much the entirety of eastern Missouri and western Illinois. Even if you didn't end up seeing thunderstorms today, we had some pretty significant non-thunderstorm related wind gusts out there. But again, mainly going to be watching Tennessee, I think, from this point forward and areas southward. Would not be shocked to still see a supercell develop here somewhere in southern Illinois and potentially pop off a little tornado, but again, doesn't look like that's going to be too much of a threat at this point. If you are new here, make sure to like and subscribe. We have now been live for about half an hour. We're trying to hit 3,960 subscribers. We do this every day for areas all across the country. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning there for Fordsville, Kentucky. If you're in this area, make sure that you're moving indoors. Damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour and hail up to quarter size are going to be a possibility with that supercell as it travels southeastward. So again, continuing to watch all of these thunderstorms here that are in our red shaded boxes there, because this is the area where we believe that we're going to have the potential to see damaging winds and large hail, and again, even a couple of brief tornadoes today if storms manage to take that proper storm mode and take advantage of this environment. So we did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Tennessee for damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour and quarter-sized hail. This is for Bethel Springs, Selmer, and Henderson. If you're in this area, you need to be moving indoors and away from windows immediately. Damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour have been measured at the Jackson Airport. And look at this, guys. This is live right now. We got this camera shaking around a lot. We got these trees as well. I'm going to bring this up on your screen so you can actually see it. Look at that lightning. Wow. Yeah, these are significant damaging winds coming in here to Henderson, Tennessee right now. Again, this is a live look. Wow. Yeah. We've got some pretty significant storms rolling through here. There's your actual gust report, by the way. 70 mile an hour gust measured about 21 minutes ago. Yeah, again, pretty nasty out there right now. Again, this is a live look from Henderson. Again, not seeing any damage yet, but things will continue to ramp up very quickly. So, again, a lot of our severe thunderstorms down here in Tennessee are going to have the potential to do something like that today. Whether it's 70 mile an hour damaging winds, 60 mile an hour damaging winds, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Whenever you're talking about severe limit winds, you're going to have that potential to end up seeing damage to trees, power lines, and potentially even minor damage to structures. So again, you got to make sure that you're staying safe out there today in Tennessee. Make sure that you do have a tornado action plan in place just in case everything goes wrong. We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning all the way back up into Illinois. This is going out south of Havana for Kilburn. If you're in this area, make sure that you're moving indoors immediately. Quarter-sized hail and 60 mile an hour damaging wind gusts there. Going to be a threat for portions of Fulton and Mason counties over the next half hour or so. So again, watching everywhere today, everywhere from Illinois down to the Florida Panhandle for a potential threat of damaging winds. By the way, I just realized we do have our 100 subscriber special over on the Davis Does Games channel premiering right now. So if you're interested in Roblox Twisted videos or anything, make sure to check that out after the stream because it is a really good chase that I did with my friend Levi. But again, we're going to stay here live for at least a little bit longer just to see if anything happens, but I'll go ahead and hang out there in that chat for a little bit. So anyway. Again, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe. Whoa, 10 with the $5 dono. Hello from Bowling Green, Kentucky. How's it going? W10 down below in the chat. That's amazing. Bowling Green, Kentucky, going to be under the gun today for some potential damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour there. Bowling Green downtown right now, you're not really looking at anything too intense at the moment. But again, we're watching these severe thunderstorms here north and portions of southwestern Indiana because they are slowly but surely moving east-southeast. And that could potentially lead to you end up seeing a damaging wind threat here over the next couple of hours. So make sure that you do have a tornado action plan in place. But again, everybody throw those W10s down below in the chat for the $5 donation. That's incredible. The channel is just called Davis Does Games, Storm Chaser 575. But yeah, thank you so much, and let's go ahead and get you thrown up there on that donation board, actually, because we do now have a donation board on our new layout here. So let's throw you up there. Thank you very much. That's incredible. So again, 10, thank you very much for the $5 donation. Throw that W10 down below in the chat if you've not already. So, We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning again for one of these southeast Tennessee supercells. This one's just north of Chattanooga. This is right over the Saudi Daisy area. Michelle, southwest Ohio is going to be fine. Really just some rain. But if you're in this area, make sure that you're moving indoors immediately. Some quarter-sized hail going to be possible with this severe thunderstorm approaching I-75. Again, watching this supercell moving through Chattanooga right now on the south side of town, because it actually looks to have a pretty impressive hail core. So we'll see what happens with that. Again, currently just has the quarter-sized hail tag. We are very close to radar, so that's one of the things making this look more impressive, but... So again, a couple more severe thunderstorms trying to develop here in portions of central and southern Illinois as we speak. Again, mainly just rain showers right now struggling to convex, but again, if any of those odd supercells do manage to develop and become discrete, it is, I mean, it's a very small chance, but it is entirely possible that we do see a very brief tornado threat in those areas. Thank you, Tin. I appreciate it. And again, it's all because of you guys that we're able to do this so much. Again, I really can't thank you guys enough for all the support recently. Especially the people that go out of their way to donate. That's incredible. I mean, that's just awesome. So... we're going to continue to watch things here for the next little while. Again, 15 severe thunderstorm warnings remain in effect across the Ohio Valley. That's not necessarily a sign or a testament to how intense this event is. It's more so that it's just a very widespread event. Again, we're talking about damaging winds, large hail, and even a couple of tornadoes being a possibility, all the way from portions of Illinois back into Georgia. So, very widespread risk today. And that's really something that we're going to start to see more and more here as we enter late spring and early summer, because this is a very common classic pattern to be in for this time of year. So we do have reports of trees down on Lee Hollow Road, northwest of Cumberland City, Tennessee. So if you're in this area, again, make sure that you're staying safe. A lot of these thunderstorms have lost a lot of steam, though. Again, not super high precipitation, but that doesn't mean they're not intense. So if you're in Clarksville, make sure that you're staying indoors, or south of Clarksville there as well. Again, this is from the Jackson, Tennessee camera here. Can't really see any damage or anything. Things are starting to settle down in downtown Jackson. This is a live look from Henderson, never mind, because the camera is not operational right now. Again, you can kind of see that boundary there. Or I guess, is that a gust front? Appearing on the radar right ahead of our supercells that are developing in southwest Tennessee. This is a pretty satisfying radar loop. Again, this one supercell here in west central Tennessee honestly had a pretty concerning look to it for a while, about an hour ago. Velocities weren't anything crazy, though. No problem, Michelle. Thank you, Storm Teacher 575. Yeah. Everybody always loves my mom's piano playing skills. But, anyway. This is a live look from Centerville, Tennessee. Again, just extremely overcast right now. Our Henderson camera is still down. So we're going to watch southeast Illinois here somewhat closely. We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning there. This does include Metro Nashville. So if you're in the Metro Nashville, make sure that you are moving indoors. This is for our thunder showers that are producing damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour. Again, you might not even end up seeing any lightning with these, but I promise you they are pretty intense. We have reports of them downing trees. So if you are in downtown Nashville, just play it safe. Make sure that you're getting indoors. This includes North Nashville, Cherokee Park, and then, again, the west side of Metro Nashville. This is what things actually look like right now from Nashville. So again, if you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 3,960 subs today. And we are only 3 subscribers away. Again, I don't know how much longer we're going to be live here because things really don't look to be too significant at this point. Again, it was just that brief little spin-up tornado that we had in Indiana that prompted this stream, really. And again, it looked like it was briefly somewhat intense. Again, very briefly. Right there on the northeast side of Princeton. New severe thunderstorm warning going out for downtown Knoxville. If you're in this area, make sure you're moving indoors. Damaging winds up to 50 miles an hour and quarter-sized hail are going to be a possibility there. Again, another University of Tennessee camera. And then this is a look from downtown Knoxville. Again, already starting to come down pretty heavy there. We are now only 2 subscribers away from 3,960. If we get it 4,000 by the end of next week, that would be incredible. Because again, we've been on 3,000 for a few months now. And that's not me complaining or anything. It's insane how we are, how this is even a possibility. And again, I can't thank you guys enough for it. I never want to underappreciate you guys because if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this as much as I am. I really wouldn't. Alrighty. Again, at this point, I think we are probably good to call it quits pretty early here, because I really would doubt us saying anything else significant for the rest of the night. I do want to hit 3,960, though, before we end off. Are we able to full screen this? Sure we can. Anything's possible if you believe in it. Let's throw in a browser tab. And throw in a link. Oh, why can I not copy and paste the link, dude? What the heck? Oh, wait, that's not what I need to be doing. I need this. There we go. Ignore this. Let's get rid of this. There we go. There's our live sub count, chat. We are now 1 subscriber away from our goal for today. We're 1 away. We can do it. This is so goofy. Just gonna drag it around the screen. Woo. Okay. Again, we're gonna end off stream here pretty soon, whether we hit it or not. But again, I want to thank you guys for all the support today. Again, very short stream today because we were not planning on going live at all. Just a brief emergency update for Indiana. Hide my head under the sub count here. 1 away, chat. We are 1 away. Hey, Webby subscribed. I subbed. I appreciate everyone who takes their own time to help people with storm anxiety. I really do appreciate that because I grew up with a lot of that, so I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Now we're at 3,961. W everybody down below in the chat again. Thank you guys so much for the support today. Again, if we get hit 4,000 by the end of next week, that would be insane. I would say by the end of this week, but again, not expecting to really have any too much content out for the rest of the week, I'd say. And again, that's just due to things being very, very calm, which we like to see. But we do actually have a day of 5 slight risk of severe weather out for Monday. I guess I should probably talk about that. This is going out for sections of the Ohio River Valley. Now, I personally have no idea why this is out here. I don't know why we're giving this a day 5 slight, because we don't even know if we're going to end up seeing anything yet. But obviously, trust the Storm Prediction Center over what some idiot on the internet says. But I will note, I don't think this is going to be anything like the past few major severe weather outbreaks that that we've ended up seeing here across this area. But if you are in this area, do be prepared. Some damaging winds, hail, and maybe a couple of tornadoes could be a possibility there as we enter Monday. We'll actually go ahead and take a quick look here on Pivotal Weather. Give me just a second. Let's go ahead and pull this up. I'll pull some soundings here from this area on... I don't think we can do NAM yet, so we'll do 12Z GFS. So here we go. We'll throw out a sounding for Central Ohio. Nothing. Okay, well, let's try this. Contaminated. This is why it's hard to do soundings on the GFS, because you never know where the exact storms are. Come on, dude. It's a horrible voice crack as well. Anyway, we don't really need a sounding. You can see here we are going to have some decent wind shear in play. Again, around 60 to 70 knots there at the 500 millibar layer. We are going to be talking about a decent amount of convective available potential energy, but it's really nothing too crazy. And by the time that we get to the point where our wind shear values are maxing, we virtually have zero left. Again, I mean, we're going to be maxing out at a couple hundred joules per kilogram here, which is why I'm shocked that we have a day 5 slight risk in play. Again, it's not non-existent, but it's not very much. Again, if we wanted to get a sounding, we'd probably have to take it from far southern Ohio here. There you go. There's a marginal severe sounding, which again, is really not anything too impressive. But you can see there that we do have a little tad bit of wind shear in this area. We've got a very small amount of surface cape, about 600 to 700. So we are going to have at least a brief damaging wind threat, but again, nothing too crazy. So we'll have more updates on that in our next forecast. But Levi, you joined at a bad time, dude. We're just about to end off. Thank you for tuning in, though. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, chat. So thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you guys all in the next one.